I think Abby just joined.
And dealing with the different.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
Hi guys, I just got home from work.
Hey.
So, Abby, we're starting our first discussion, and you are assigned the role of the silent one for this one.
I guess that was perfect since I was coming from work. So, am I just supposed to be like the sully one in the corner then?
I guess.
The one who never talks unless called on, right?
Okay. All right.
Do you have your camera on, Abigail?
I don't.
Okay. All right.
This constant switching back and forth is really just wigging me out.
I know, it throws you off.
Yeah.
All right, Scott, you're up.
All right. Are we recording then?
I have a recording, yes.
All right. Well, I'm just going to be referring to notes down here because I don't mind my wandering eyes. But, well, first of all, welcome everyone to our diabetes support group. This is our second meeting together, but let's go ahead and just do a quick round of introductions.
Okay.
I'm Scott. I'll be facilitating the group today.
Hi, I'm William.
I'm Chase.
I'm Connor. I'm Abby.
Good to meet all of you again. So let's kind of just start out by if there's anything that anyone wants to address as far as basic information about diabetes. Does anyone have any questions or experiences they'd like to share? Maybe something they experienced between now and the last meeting that we had.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Yeah. Does anyone in the group need any kind of just more basic information on diabetes? I know this is only our second time meeting, so I don't know what the knowledge level is in here of what you know about the disease that you're dealing with. But, if you have any questions, basic questions, it's a good time to go over that.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What can I do to live a healthier lifestyle?
Okay. Great question. Well, we'll be that's actually on the agenda, so we'll tackle that a little bit later.
Okay.
Great. Thank you for bringing that up.
It'd be helpful for me if we just go over like some basic information again.
Okay.
General knowledge would be good.
Okay. I mean, you don't need to share how long you've had diabetes if you don't want to, but if any of you would like to share that information, that'd be great. Basically, it's just an imbalance in the body where the body doesn't recognize sugar like it used to. You can almost think of it as locks and keys with insulin and sugar. So your body's become insulin resistant. So it's really easy for blood sugar levels to get out of whack in the body. You can get too much, which is a big problem, and you can get too little, which is also a big problem. Both of those require hospitalization if it gets serious. So what we're going to really try to do is find ways to keep you healthy and keep those blood sugar levels in check. Is anyone familiar with some of the complications of diabetes? You may be experiencing some of them yourself. Anyone have know of any of those that they want to share?
I do. My grandma, diabetes runs in my family. My grandma had gestational diabetes, and she never really took care of it. She didn't really measure her levels, and she lost some toes because of it, and she ended up losing her vision also because of it, and eventually led to her death. So I know that if you don't take care of it, it can get pretty serious.
Great. Well, thank you for sharing. Sorry, Connor, you kind of cut out a little bit in and out near the end, but I think I caught most of it. And it sounds like she'd had diabetes for quite a while, and that's actually pretty common. People have had the disease for a long time. It can increase in severity like that, and it's common for people to lose toes and feet, even legs, lose their vision. But thankfully, diabetes is a very manageable disease, so we're really going to be trying to focus on finding ways to keep it from getting to that point. That's kind of why we're all here. Thank you for sharing. Case, do you have any input, any questions, any personal story?
What are some ways that you guys have found that have best managed your diabetes?
Great. Yeah, anyone want to? Oh, go ahead, William.
Yeah, just for me, I found it's helpful just to keep track of everything I eat. Just like a small food journal. That way it helps me know, like, just what my intake is, so I know when. Just kind of, like, can keep track better, things like that.
Great idea. Yeah, that's actually one of the things on the list, so very good.
Oh, nice.
Abigail, any input, question? Want to respond to Chase's comment?
I guess going and exercising regularly helps.
Exercise. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Does any of you have a regular exercise routine that they stick with? Is there something you found that works for you? Or is there something you're looking to start?
Just push-ups, man.
Push-ups?
How often is it recommended that I exercise?
What's that, Connor? Sorry?
How often is it recommended that I exercise?
Well, typically what they say is about 3 times a week for at least half an hour. And you want to do kind of a mix of cardio and weights. That's really kind of a good general guideline for a good fitness level.
Sounds like a lot.
It sounds like a lot. There are ways to make it easier for you to, for example, I do all of my exercising from home. We just use DVDs for cardio workouts. We have free weights to use, and that does the trick for us. So we don't have to go to the gym or pay for that, or even take a lot of time traveling somewhere. There are lots of alternatives if you're looking for ways to exercise. And if really just walking is a great way, or finding little ways in your day to kind of sneak in extra exercise. If you don't really take an elevator at work, maybe take the stairs. Used to getting a primo parking spot, maybe park a little further away and walk in. There's lots of little ways that you can add a little exercise to it.
I would love to work out with anybody that wants to work out.
What's that?
I would love to work out with anybody that wants to work out.
Nice, great. All right, Chase, exercise buddy for somebody.
Yes.
I never have time for any of that.
Connor, you just got to make time.
It's hard to do, especially at first if you're not used to it. They say it takes several weeks for something to become a habit. So those first few weeks are definitely the toughest, getting into a routine and making it happen. But it can be done. And we'll have resources available for you, just ideas of exercises you can do. We've got some pamphlets and such that we can give you. So lots of resources. And Chase is willing to work out with you, so there you go.
Yes.
We'll see.
Any other questions? Those have been great so far. I mean, it can be the dumbest, most basic question, or I can try to answer some more advanced ones. If not, that's okay. Let's go ahead and we're going to focus a little today on nutrition and exercise. So exercise we've already kind of covered a little bit. And if any of you have any other questions with that, feel free to pipe in. With nutrition, though, one of the main things we want to be doing if you have diabetes is to monitoring your blood sugar levels. Does everyone have a way of doing that?
Yeah.
Chase does. Connor?
Yeah.
You do. William, do you?
Yes.
And Abigail, do you?
Yep.
Okay, great. You're probably all using something like the One Touch Ultra. You just poke your finger, it tests your blood sugar at any point in the day. It's important to do if you're concerned about blood sugar spikes at all, either too low or too high. So it's good to use around meal times. In the morning is a good time to check. Basically, what we want to do is watch that your number isn't veering too far from about 100. 100 is about normal. So if you're getting really high, if you're getting up in the 200s, 300s, that's a problem. You should probably be talking to a doctor about that, even emergency levels. And if it gets too low, it's also very dangerous. You can actually go into a diabetic coma at that point. You get super sleepy, unresponsive. So, what we want to do is just kind of keep track of those things before it gets to that. So checking
What do
blood
I
sugar
do
levels is very good.
if my blood sugar level gets too high or too low?
Sorry, repeat your question, Connor.
What do I do if my blood sugar level gets too high?
Good. Well, if it's really high, you would definitely want to call your doctor. If it's very high, you'll probably be symptomatic. You're not going to be feeling very good. And an ER visit isn't necessarily off the table in that case. But the whole point of monitoring your blood sugar every day is to check those trends. So, I mean, it's not going to spike on you all of a sudden. It'll start to gradually creep up. So that's what we want to watch for, is if it starts getting higher and higher or lower and lower, we want to avoid those trends. It's really important that you have a doctor that you see regularly to work through those things. I'm not a doctor, so I can't really give you advice in that arena, but they will help. So we've just got a few more minutes. I just wanted to kind of go over some nutrition basics. Really, it's pretty simple. I mean, you want to limit what you eat calorie-wise. They recommend for people with diabetes that you eat 5 to 6 small meals a day, which sounds like a lot, but if you're eating every couple hours during a normal day, it can be done. And by small, I mean just 200 to 300 calories usually. And you want to make sure you're mixing in some good proteins and veggies, and just avoid really sugary foods. Yeah, William.
What would be some good proteins to have for those meals?
Great. Does anyone else want to answer that? Does anyone else follow a diabetic diet and have some good info?
Chicken is my favorite.
I like chicken.
Great.
You can grill it up and put it in the fridge for the rest of the week, and it's easy to make a lot of different things with.
And you can spice the crud out of it too, so that's
Exactly.
I personally like extra lean turkey. I like to cook with that a lot. Connor, you were saying?
I said oatmeal is also really good too.
Oatmeal, yeah. Yep, good.
As long as you don't get the extra sweetened kind.
Yep.
The dino ones.
Yep, the pure stuff. Carbs like that are especially good if you can mix them with a protein.
Okay.
It's a better
Oats and eggs. That's a typical breakfast for me. Abigail, are there any foods that you eat with a diabetic diet?
Let me think. I don't know. I guess just trying to get a good protein at every meal and not go crazy on the carbs.
Well, good. I mean, it sounds like all of you kind of have a pretty good handle on what you should be eating. I know it can be difficult sometimes to think of foods to eat, so we've got some recipes available for you here, printed out. I'm just telling you ingredients listed and how to cook it, and pretty basic stuff, but it works pretty well. So kind of do like a sample week of a diabetic diet. We're basically out of time. Does anyone have any final questions?
I'm good.
I feel supported, so I feel good.
Okay, good. Connor, any questions?
No.
Abigail?
I have none.
Okay. Well, thank you everyone for meeting. Hopefully it was informative. Don't forget to pick up your flyers and recipe ideas before you leave, and then we will see you again in a couple weeks.
Sounds great.
All right. Thank you so much. And scene.
And see.
Alright. Who wants to go next?
So the
You're just
next, Connor, you're the facilitator now, right?
Oh, I'm gonna go next?
I think we're gonna go down that line, that list.
Okay.
So that makes me the help rejecting complainer.
Let's see.
Scott will be the silent one. Abigail will be the monopolist, and William will be the composed participant ready to help.
Okay.
Scott's the silent one?
Yep.
Okay.
Does that mean I'm basically just kind of butting in for the teacher?
It just means you have a lot of comments,
Oh.
a lot of answers.
So the total opposite of what you did last time.
Oh, good.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started today. Thank you for coming to this support group. I know it definitely helps one another. The purpose of this group is to kind of help ourselves and others to live healthier lives. And it's important that we identify our goals or our desired outcomes today. We'll support each other and take small steps towards our goals as we progress in these meetings based on our own personal experiences. I know we've already met once before, but we have some new people joining, so if we could just go around and introduce ourselves, maybe get our name and our major and what we hope to get out of the group today. Abigail, can we start with you?
My name is Abigail, and I am a health science major. And I guess what I'd like to get out of this support group is probably just getting a better understanding of my condition and how I can better control it.
Yep.
I'm Chase. I'm a health science major. And I just want to know the best way to manage diabetes.
Okay, we'll touch on that later today. Scott, go ahead.
My name's Scott. I'm a health science major, and I'm like Chase. I'm looking for ways to kind of regulate my diabetes, get it under control.
Am I next?
Yep, go ahead.
Okay. Hi everyone. My name's William. I just was recently contracted with type 2 diabetes, and I'm just looking for some more information on it.
Cool. I hope that throughout our meeting today we can all find honesty and support with one another and show some respect. So before we go on any further, I was hoping that maybe we could all set kind of some ground rules as to what we can hope for with one another in this meeting. Does anyone have anything they would like to add?
I think it's important that during this support group that we really can be open and honest with one another and to really be able to share our life experiences so that we can just kind of uplift and edify everybody that we come into contact with.
Yeah, I agree. I think that'll really help bring us together and for us all to be able to achieve our goals throughout this if we're open with one another and show some respect. Anything else that they'd like to add?
I just want some advice.
Some advice? Okay, we'll get there.
I think we should bring punch every time. I think that'd be good.
Some snacks?
Yeah,
As long as it's Crystal Light, so it doesn't have any sugar in it.
yeah, that sounds good.
That'd be important. Maybe we could add some cinnamon to that Crystal Light. That'll kind of help balance our diet. So you guys said you wanted to know like how to maintain our diabetes. What are some things that each of you have done to kind of keep a like a healthier diet? I know it's kind of hard sometimes, but does anyone have anything that they've done in the past that has helped?
Well, I know that like I make sure that I'm eating the right things, and what I'll do is I'll do 5 or 6 smaller meals throughout the day to keep everything level, rather than 3 big meals where by the time I get to the other meal I'm already starving for that, and then I feel really woozy because my blood sugar's not where it should be. So I don't know, that really helps me, and I'll just keep it in little food diaries so that I know what I ate, when I ate, and then test my blood sugar to see if
Yeah,
I
that's
need a shot of insulin or
yeah.
if I'm
Has
good to
anyone
go.
else done the 6 smaller meals throughout the day rather than just 3?
I've tried it. How do
I,
you like pack all the stuff, all your food for the day?
I just keep like little baggies in my backpack, and so I try to keep them things that don't necessarily need to go into the fridge unless it's just something I'm really wanting. Um, and then I'll just package them into smaller baggies earlier in the week so that they're already made, and then I'll just throw a couple of them in my backpack, however I want to put it together that day. And then that way I always have healthy things available. It's just a matter of what combination I want them and when I want them.
Okay, I'll try that.
Chase, you said you've tried it before. Was that what was hard for you? Was packing, preparing it all for the day?
Yeah, I don't know. I work various jobs, so it's hard for me to keep food in the same spot, and I'm really busy, so it's hard.
Yeah. I think another thing that helps, I don't know if any of you have had experience with this, but setting maybe like an hour or so out of the week aside to where you can prepare all of your food for the week, and maybe just do some like fruits and vegetables, chop those up and just put them in bags and keep them in your like backpack or whatever you have with you throughout the day. I think that helps.
Something
Um,
that also helped me a lot is that if I did stuff, like if I prepared stuff that I actually liked eating, like obviously there's some things that we probably should avoid eating just because it's not, the better choice of the two. But like fruits and vegetables, if I really like them, I'll get those rather than have other things in my pantry. And then that way, instead of being tempted to have candy or soda or whatever else it might be, I have something healthy available that I actually like to eat. And then I don't feel, I don't know, as gypped.
yeah. Scott or William, have any of you had experience with this, preparing meals or doing the 6 meals a day, or even the food journal like Abigail said?
Well, for me personally, something that's helped was if I do make a meal, I always make sure to make extra portions. So that way, it's not just one meal. I make like two, because then it's leftovers from lunch, or even like three. So that just helps me a little bit when I do that.
Yeah. Scott, how about for you? Have you had experience doing either of these?
Yeah, I work a job that makes it difficult to eat at regular intervals, so I've kind of come up with good workarounds. I'll bring prepared meals, but then I'll have little snack options, healthy snack options, if I don't have the time to sit down and eat something as well.
Yeah, that's perfect. Um, I think another important thing to touch on is our activity levels. We need to make sure that we're being aware of these. Again, is there anything that any of you have done that has worked in the past for you with maintaining a good amount of exercise throughout the week?
I'll
Actually,
usually,
that's oh,
I usually just kind of, I don't know, right when I get home from work, I'll usually just do something, even if it's just a little something. Um, and it'd usually be something along the lines of, I don't know, go walk around the block or do some push-ups and sit-ups and or like a yoga video or something like that, just so I get something in each day Or sometimes I've done workout groups where we just kind of all kept each other accountable. Right now, I don't think I'm really doing anything, but usually that's what I do.
Yeah. So as we wrap up this meeting today, I was hoping that maybe we could set some goals for next time that we meet, just small goals, um, whether they be guided towards our eating habits or our exercise habits or whatever. Does anyone have any goals that they hope to be able to achieve in the next week or so?
The next week or so?
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I think probably a good goal for me would just be to get back into good activities and helping with my stress levels.
hmm Something for me to give you guys an idea is to cut back on the amount of French fries I eat and eventually get to where I can stop eating French fries. I know those aren't healthy and something that I need to cut out of the diet, but it's hard to cut out an addiction. Is there anything that, Scott, that you have that is maybe something that you want to cut out of your diet or work on in this week?
Um, yeah, I'd like to try to reduce the amount of sugar I eat.
hmm
It's probably more than I should be. Maybe some alternatives for that. I'll try and set a goal for myself.
Yeah, so cutting out sugar is kind of a big goal. That can't happen overnight. So does anyone have any suggestions as to how he can help cut back his sugar levels?
Yeah, I do. For me personally, I've always struggled with drinking too much soda,
hmm
and so I used to just drink bottles like of them. So instead of that, I would buy just cans, and I wasn't allowed to drink, more than I said like in a max. I was allowed to have a day, and then like just keep lowering it until it wasn't like as much of an issue.
Yeah, I think soda is kind of a huge factor in that. That could be something that we could all maybe work on is cutting back on our soda. Um, well, thank you all for your input today, and I hope that as we go throughout this next week, we can focus on these small goals and just take baby steps. Um, we'll see you next time.
Thanks.
Bye, buddy.
I'm really sorry, William. I just felt right to cut you off at that moment.
It's fine. I don't care.
You played your role well.
Chase, your sassy comments were really funny.
Thanks.
I just want to learn about diabetes. I just want to learn.
All right. So now I'm the facilitator. Connor's the silent one. Scott's the monopolist.
I'm the composed participant.
And
I'm
William.
projecting.
Okay. All right, let's do this nonsense.
You got this.
All right. Welcome to our meeting today. Today is October the 22nd. We met 2 weeks ago for the first time, and here we are meeting again for the second time. And for those of you who don't really remember who everyone is, let's just go around the room real quick. And last time we had talked about setting some goals to accomplish in the 2 weeks that we were gone before we met. So let's go around the room, everyone introduce themselves, and just kind of report real quick on how you did on your goals that we set a couple weeks ago.
I'm Scott. I did terrible on my goals. I'm hoping I'll do better the next couple weeks.
I'm Abby, and I think I did fairly decent. I definitely could do better. But overall, I think just coming and getting more help would definitely do me some good.
Okay. Connor, what about you?
I'm Connor. I only had French fries once this week, so
Nice.
that's better than every day.
Very good.
Hi, William, and I actually forgot what goals I set last week, so I don't think I accomplished them.
All right. Well, at the end of today's lesson, in today's group, we're gonna set some new goals. Um, so let's focus on those. Um, I guess Abigail, since you did such a, or excuse me, Connor, since you did such a job on your goal, do you mind explaining to us how you felt accomplishing your goal?
It felt pretty good to know that I was getting closer to my goal. I mean, I definitely could have done better, but it made me feel like I can maybe do more next time.
Good. Scott, and you didn't do so good on your goals. Um, I guess what can something you could do different that could help you do better on your goals?
Probably get the sugar out of my house. And my other goal was exercise, and I didn't really do what I wanted to there. I planned on doing a couple days of exercise each week, and I got one day out of the last two, so I guess it was something. But
Good, good. Does anybody have any experiences where they've had a good exercise routine or been able to eliminate sugars from their house or have less sugars in their house that they would like to bring to the group? No one's got anything?
well,
All right.
I wasn't eating sugar, and then it was pretty easy when nothing's around. But it was kind of a slow accumulation of sugar in the house again. It's really easy to kind of turn to it for a snack when you're feeling hungry.
It is. Something that I've experienced is it's always best to have moderation. It's hard to go cold turkey on something and totally eliminate it, but just have moderation. And I'm allowed one treat today. That way you don't go 5 days without it and then spend a day where you accumulate a lot into your body and into your house. So that's something I've seen that's worked for me. I don't know if everybody else has anything they'd like to add to that. I guess what are some of the best things that you guys have found in managing your own personal diabetes? Some things that you had success with.
Well, I do check my blood sugar every day. So I mean, I get a pretty good handle on when things are getting out of control versus keeping them in check. That helps.
Okay. Anybody else?
I guess when I have done good, it's been just getting a little bit of exercise throughout the day, but I haven't been very good about that really lately.
I guess I would just have a question about how, I don't know, and maybe this is open to the whole group, how I could do better at maybe starting that process to get things out of my house. Because it seems really overwhelming because I bought stuff and then I'm trying to, do well with my blood sugar and not eat bad things, but I don't exactly want to get rid of everything all at once. So do you guys have any suggestions about, I don't know, how to cope with that?
Yeah, that's kind of been my problem too, Abigail. So yeah, if anyone has any ideas.
William, do you have any ideas?
Yeah, I guess something that helps is just maybe stop buying it. I mean, you can still have it in your house, but just stop adding to the collection, maybe.
Something that I like I said earlier is just have moderation. I don't know how much you personally have, but just you don't have to eat it all at once. You don't have to throw it all away, but set aside a day a week or something that you can have ice cream. What I don't know what like exactly what you have, but set aside per day what you're going to allow yourself to do.
Got a whole lot of ice.
If you have a lot you don't want to throw it away, then you could always invite people over to help share it. It gives you a good reason to have friends over.
That's a good idea.
Are there any other questions that people have related to that? Was a very good question, Abigail.
What?
Are there any other questions that anybody else has about managing or how to cope with or overcome different obstacles that you're facing?
Yeah, I just feel like when it comes to, I guess, exercise, I just can't seem to get my or just I can't get things together to exercise daily. And I know you're supposed to do that. I can't seem to do it.
So you're having a hard time getting in a routine of exercising.
Yeah, I guess that would be it.
Okay.
I've been having the same problem, and I've actually been getting like numbness and pain in my feet too. I'm sure as a result of the diabetes. But yeah, I'd be looking for some ideas too on exercises I can do that don't necessarily involve my legs.
Okay. Connor, do you have any ideas?
One thing that's worked for me in the past is having like a motivator, someone to work out with. We can kind of be that for each other as a support group, encourage one another, or maybe when one of us is going to the gym or going on a walk to invite another. It really helps to have someone that kind of will help keep you on track and motivate you when you're not feeling the motivation.
Very good. Abigail, what about you? Do you have any ideas?
I don't. I think I'd just be open to people's suggestions, though, if they have good thoughts. Because I don't.
Okay. Well, as we leave today, we do have some flyers and some pamphlets that can give you some ideas. But like Connor was saying, a motivator is a great way to have someone to go with, to work out with. Another good way is to start with something you can do. You don't train for a marathon by running 24 miles your first time. You're going to start by running what you can do. So maybe this week, set aside 30 minutes, 3 days to go for a walk. And then next week, you could amp up your time of your walk or your pace of your walk to the point where you can eventually get to the point where you're running or whatever your goal is. Scott, I know you said that you don't want to use your feet too much. And something maybe you could do is swimming is a great one where you're not going to be putting a lot of pressure on your feet. Also, biking is not a terrible one. And there are, of course, aerobic exercises you can do at the gym with your upper body that could definitely help. It won't give you quite the cardio that you were looking for, but definitely some exercises you could do there with that. So as we get ready to leave today, we want to set some goals to accomplish by the next 2 weeks. So with these goals, remember, I don't know if any of you have heard of the SMART goal, but we want to set goals that are specific, measurable, attainable, recordable, and are time bound. So we have 2 weeks to accomplish these goals. So with that in mind, I want you to think about that for just a second, and as we go, I'm going to go around the room real quick, and we're going to state briefly what our goal is. So let's start with you, Scott.
Okay. Well, I'm going to try to do what I did the last couple of weeks. It'd be the same goal. I'm just going to get the sugar out of my house, or at the very least, we'll make it attainable. We'll do it so I'm not buying any more sugar this week.
Okay. What about you, William?
I guess, it'd be to do a little bit of exercise.
Okay. So you maybe say 3 days a week this week?
Yeah, that sounds good. We'll do that.
Okay. Abigail, what about you?
I think this time I'll probably do something along the lines of um, maybe just organizing my cabinets and trying to still utilize the things I have there, but not rely heavily on the sugary things and things I shouldn't have.
Okay, very good. And Connor, we'll finish with you.
I want to set a goal to walk to campus and to the gym every day instead of driving.
Very good. All right, with those goals in mind, then we'll comp over the next 2 weeks, and we'll come back and we'll discuss them some more.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you.
Oh man.
Sorry about that.
Hold on 1 second. I have to switch classrooms real quick, so I'll be. My role's a silent one this time, so I'll be quiet for just a minute while I switch classrooms.
Okay.
Oh, good.
We
All right,
can,
who's next? William?
yeah.
Okay.
We can just keep going with that.
Help a rejecting complainer.
I'm the composed participant.
And I'm the monopolist.
All right, everyone got their roles?
So,
All right, let's do this. All right, I'd like to thank everybody for coming back today to the support group. This is our second meeting, and so I'd really like to just focus today on group support. And so I want everyone just to feel really comfortable with each other and get to know one another. So it'd be great if we could just go around the room, just state your name for everybody, and then just, I don't know, an interesting thing about you, perhaps. I'll start. I'm William, and I love Lord of the Rings.
And you what?
Love Lord of the Rings.
Oh, okay. I'll go.
Okay.
My name's Connor, and I grew up with all brothers.
Okay. Scott.
I'm Scott. I work as a professional musician.
Whoa. Abigail, you want to go next?
I'm Abigail, and shoot, I don't know what to say.
It's okay.
I
You have a great wedding dress.
have a great wedding dress. Yes.
Okay. Chase, are you back with us?
I'm good. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm Chase, and I'm
Would
just
you just like to?
a student. I'm a little on the shy side.
Okay, that's fine. So just this meeting, just today, I'd really like to focus more on just group support and not maybe necessarily. I mean, we can talk about diabetes and those kind of things, and if people feel like they're lacking general information, I want them to bring it up. But I feel like everyone will be way more successful with the goals and with the knowledge if we really pull together as a group, maybe and even like where you can feel comfortable contacting each other outside of their meetings if you need help or if you feel like you need support.
What
And
if there's
so,
something that I just don't really like?
I'm sorry, what was that?
I know that's good advice, but what if there's somebody that I just don't really like? Do I have to take their suggestions?
No, I mean, it's completely up to you. That's fine. We just want you to be, just maybe honestly try to get to know everybody just so we can rely on someone. And if there is one person that you feel like you do get along with, maybe just use that person as your go-to support and back and forth.
Okay. I
And
guess.
so, does that answer your question?
I guess so.
Okay, great. Um, And so, just right now, I'd like to, oh, I'd like to just kind of, if anyone has any questions, bring them up right now, and maybe we can try and address them as a group. Or if you've had any like, we'll just start with that. If everyone has any like questions about diabetes. Um, Scott, do you have any questions?
Not really. I've actually had a lot of success with managing my diabetes, so I'm
Okay.
kind of here hoping to be maybe a support for people that have some questions as well. So.
Oh, that'd be great. Would you like maybe talk a little bit about some of your success you've had with them?
Well, sure. I used to weigh over 300 pounds. Not really.
Okay.
And um, I've lost about half that amount just through
How'd you lose it all?
diet and exercise. And it was very slow going. I lost quickly at first, but it trickled down to about maybe a pound or two a week. And just over the course of time, got down to a healthy weight.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's great. Um, I guess on that note, then, does anyone else have any like positive experiences they want to lead out with?
I've had a good experience with cutting sugar out of my life. I actually got my whole family to join in on me with this, but we just kind of quit cold turkey, and I know that not everybody can do that, but it worked for our family, and we just completely got rid of all sugars in our house, and the only forms of sweets that we have are honey and natural sugars from fruit, and that's been something that's really helped maintain my blood sugar levels and keep my diet healthier.
That's great. Um, so just, I guess this is kind of what I was hoping for. It was just some stories that and people we can rely on, maybe who had success like with losing weight or with cutting out sugar. And so if someone else in the group is struggling with that, they can come to you guys necessarily for that. And if you guys are struggling with something else, you can go to someone else in the group.
Yeah, it definitely helps to have support.
Yes, it's it's much more successful in keeping your goals and achieving what you want and maintaining a healthy lifestyle if you have a circle of support, people we can rely on. And so, really, I just want to make sure that uh, you know we address that and we're all feeling comfortable with each other. Um, Chase, do you have any questions or stories you'd like to bring forth?
No, not really. I'm just amazed at Connor and Scott. Scott losing all that weight and Connor being so disciplined. That's pretty cool.
But I don't feel like that works for everybody, though.
Um,
No, not
I
always.
would. That's fair. I feel like that one thing won't work for everybody. Um, but that's you just gotta. I mean, keep at it when you set your goals and you decide what you need to accomplish in your life to help you reach your desired level of health and fitness. Then you have us to rely on as a support. And I mean, maybe you won't be able to cut sugar out cold turkey. That's fine. I mean, I can't personally, but I mean, I for one have had success in just reducing my overall sugar intake. Uh, and so, if that's something you're interested in, we can talk about it. Um, I guess, Abigail, is there anything that you've been struggling with, or is there like something you want to work on?
Well, I feel like I've really been struggling with maybe maintaining my blood sugar levels and really
Okay.
being consistent with things. I don't know. I don't know if you guys have suggestions of what I can do better as far as maintaining that.
Yeah,
I think it helps to keep a log of everything that you eat. I know that that's kind of time consuming, but there's even apps for that on your phone where you can just quickly go and put it in. But for me, that's helped because then when my blood sugar levels do spike or whatever, I can look back and know what I have ate and know how to stay away from. Now I know what I need to stay away from. But just keeping a log of what I eat throughout the day has really helped me.
that's
Yeah,
great.
I would totally agree with Connor too. I would say if you're if you're very overweight or you've had problems with blood sugar in the past, is to check your blood sugar every day too and keep a log of that along with what you eat.
Hmm.
I feel like that's a little bit on the difficult side. Like, I don't know if I'd be able to actually do that realistically.
I'm not gonna lie, it's hard. It definitely takes work. Um, I know it sounds cliche, but I kind of had a wake-up call when I got the diabetes diagnosis, and I realized I want to be able to run around and play with my grandkids. So I made a goal for myself, and it took a long, long time and a lot of work, but I think it's been worth it.
That's great. Um, yeah, I guess this is kind of what I wanted to go for. It's just us workshopping things and just supporting one another. And so I guess that's the next thing I want to talk about. If you, whoever's comfortable with this, if you want to exchange contact information, just so we can check up on each other, or if you need help throughout the week, like if you're just having a really bad day with this, you can call up someone and just ask them for help, or just not even help, just to talk and just say, hey, just having a bad day, and you need someone to talk
I'm
to.
always here as a workout buddy.
Me too.
That's great. Um, would that be something you guys, this group, would be okay with?
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if that would really just like I want things to like really work out the way that they're supposed to, but I don't know if that would really work with like schedule wise and like everybody has their different things that they've got to get done in the day. So I don't know.
Okay. Um, that's fair. I guess something we could try then is maybe um, do emails. That's something simple, and then that's also not very time compressing. And so that's just something we could start with to see if it works and how we can just proceed from there. And next week we can check back and just see how it goes. Would that be something you think might work better, Abigail?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, that's great. I think we should try and give that a shot and see how it goes. Um,
And Abigail, something I tried too is I had a workout partner, and we would send accountability texts to each other. So I would send them, "Have you worked out today?" as a text, and they would send me back what they did. And if they hadn't yet, then it would sometimes be enough of a motivator to get them to do it. But I know that worked for me. I'd be happy to do that for you as well.
I think it's also important to realize that this kind of, like our diet and our exercise and our health kind of needs to be a priority to us. Like Scott said, he had his wake-up call that we want to be able to play with our grandchildren, and this, our health isn't something that we can mess around with. We're only given one life, and I think we need to make it more of a priority in our lives.
that's great. Um, and of course, if you don't feel necessarily comfortable with the group yet, you can always, if there's someone else that you know in your life that you can rely on, like just like say, hey, I need your help to make me accountable for my health goals. Set that up with them, and then just come back and talk with us about that every week. You can use us as a support and as an accountability circle, just once a week, or you can go on each other throughout the week. Um, so we have just a couple of minutes left together. Does anyone have any questions or anything they'd like to bring up with the group? Jace, you have anything?
No, I'm ready to do this.
Okay. Well, that's that sounds great. Of course, I'm always here for you guys. If you ever need me, you can reach me at my blah blah number. And yeah, I guess that's it.
Sorry, guys, I had to move all over the place.
Yeah, sorry, I had to get up and leave in the middle.
It's okay.
Abigail, you're a good complainer.
Well, like I looked up a definition because I've never heard that term before, and literally it's like someone who's just so stubborn that they complain about stuff, but every single time somebody gives them a suggestion, they're like, that's not going to work. I don't like that idea.
Abigail, I'm gonna follow your rules.
And there's always somebody, every group.
But William, you took that like a champ.
Oh, thank you. Thanks. I appreciate that.
Alright, so I guess I'm the facilitator.
I'm the silent one. That's
No.
easy job.
It is terrifying, okay? Oh. Okay. Does everybody know what rules they have?
Yep.
Yep, I'm here to make your life a nightmare.
Okay, Scott. Let's be nice. Let's be nice. Okay. So welcome everybody to our second support group for our diabetes club. I know everybody's still getting acquainted and figuring out schedules and whatnot, but why don't we go ahead and go around and just do quick introductions just to kind of remind people of who we are, and if anybody's brand new to the group, let us know. But if you can just say your name and maybe where you're from, and then we'll go ahead and get started from there.
I'm Chase. I've been dealing with diabetes for about 5 years. I know pretty much everything there is to know about it, and I feel pretty comfortable with it. So, if anybody has any questions, let me know.
Welcome, Chase.
I'm Connor. Diabetes has run in my family for a couple of years now, and I was diagnosed a couple of years ago. I just really hope that we can help each other in this support group and that I can get answers.
Hey, welcome, Connor.
I'm Scott. I'm from Washington State. I'm not going to lie, my wife made me come to this. I love to eat and I hate to exercise, so
Well, welcome anyways, and hopefully we can figure out something that maybe you didn't know before, or maybe something that might help you out, and just, even if it's a small way, maybe we can start off with that.
You know, Scott, I think you just need to discipline yourself a little bit, and that'll help a lot.
I think I'm pretty disciplined. I just, like I said, I love to eat.
And everybody comes from different backgrounds. Thank you, Chase, and thank you, Scott. Let's go ahead and move on to the rest of our introduction.
I guess that's me. I'm William. I'm from Washington, and I have diabetes.
Okay. Well, welcome, William. Welcome, everybody. Are there any questions to start off with? I know we kind of left off talking about stress. And when you first get diagnosed, there's a lot of that goes on. But does anybody have any questions from our last discussion before we get on into today's lesson?
I have a question. I was wondering how you guys the last couple weeks, what you've done to better your diet.
Is this something that you've been maybe struggling a little bit, Connor, or is
Just
there
a
anything
little
in
bit,
particular?
yeah.
Okay. Is there anything in particular that you're needing help with, or wanting in particular, like healthy food choices, schedules, or just in general?
Just help on like what foods are the best for me.
Okay. Does anybody have any helpful tips or suggestions or things that has worked for them in the past?
Yeah, I do. I think the best thing to do is just eliminate all the red meats, eat healthy meat, eliminate potatoes, eat a lot of rice, fruits, vegetables, eliminate all the sweets. That's what's worked for me, so it can work for you.
Okay, and Chase, in your experience, what would you consider the healthy meats?
Um, Chicken, fish, eat a lot of tuna fish, um, pretty much the white meat. Stay away from the dark meat.
Okay, and that helped you a lot.
Yes.
Okay. Does anybody else have anything? William, do you have anything that helped you?
Um, I don't know, just like just eating right. Whenever I went shopping, I had to keep that in the forefront of my mind, I guess.
Okay. Scott, do you have anything that you think about? I know you said that your wife had you come here, but liking to eat things, that's perfectly fine. Do you have any suggestions as far as um, maybe some favorite recipes that have kind of kept you on track there?
I just always have a problem with like diet foods. I don't think they
Okay.
taste very good. I really like to eat a lot of red meat. I mean, I guess if there were like an option maybe for a better kind of red meat or something with a lot of flavor, I'd probably be open to trying that. My wife has threatened to, cook healthier stuff, so I want to make sure I'm eating something I like. Um,
Okay. Well, hopefully most people are aware that just because you've been diagnosed with diabetes doesn't necessarily mean that you have to give up every single thing that you loved before being diagnosed. It just means that when you are making the choices as to trying to help regulate your blood sugar and maintain a healthy weight and those sorts of things, just being able to get a variety of foods and everything really in moderation. Sorry, I got this mute. There's nothing wrong with eating red meats and having those things that you like, sugars and whatnot. The thing that makes it perhaps on the dangerous side for those of us diagnosed with diabetes is if we have too much of one particular thing, it can really make our blood sugar spike and continue to spike, and that can potentially lead to other things happening risk-wise. Um, and so we just want to be careful not to have too much of one particular thing and have a good variety of, good fruits and vegetables, good healthy carbs, and making sure that um, we still don't completely get rid of what we like, but we just need to make sure that those things are all in moderation. Otherwise, we risk um, kind of overloading our bodies, especially since we need to be able to regulate that blood sugar. Hey, does that make sense, you guys?
Mm-hmm.
what if I'm still hungry? What if it's not enough food for me?
Well, probably one good idea would be to check your blood glucose just to see where you're at. And if it's range, there's nothing wrong with maybe having an extra snack. One thing that I've seen in the past with these support groups is spacing small meals in between your normal meals can really help, because oftentimes when we're feeling really hungry or really thirsty, it's usually because those levels are either spiking or they're kind of dipping down into a trough. And so it's our bodies telling us, give me nutrients, give me food. And there's nothing wrong with having snacks. You just want to be careful to make sure that you know where your blood sugar is at that time, so that you can appropriately pick a snack that's still satisfying, like a good protein, but not overwhelming for your body. Does that make sense there?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And Connor, did I answer your question at all, or did you get any helpful tips from
Yeah.
groups?
Yeah, that does help.
Does anybody have anything else to add to that? Okay. So one of the main things that I wanted to bring up today, just briefly, is one huge thing that we forget about sometimes when we're talking about diabetes is our stress levels and what that can do to our blood sugar. So does anybody have some activities that they do to kind of help maintain their stress levels? I know we're all kind of in school. So is there any activities that you guys do to try to level that playing field out?
Yeah, eating.
I found exercise is a great way to relieve stress.
Okay. So what is it about, let's start with Scott. What is it about eating that helps you get rid of that stress? And then we'll go to Chase.
I mean, it's something that tastes good and it feels good to eat it. And I don't know, it's just kind of a comfort for me. If something's really stressing me out, I can usually calm myself down by eating something I like.
Okay. Do you have other activities that you like to do besides eating? Sports?
No, not really sports. I like to watch TV, movies.
Okay. And then Chase, what is it about exercise that helps you maintain those stress levels?
It's just a great way for me to clear my mind. Helps me to I don't know, get my body moving, get the blood pumping, my brain moving. Just helps me overall feel a lot better.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to agree with Chase that for me in the last year to help balance my stress levels, I do weight training, and I don't know, it just kind of helps like take out your stress, and it's a good distraction and takes your mind off things, so then you're not focused on all the stressors that you have in your life.
Okay. William, do you have anything that you like to do to kind of help with those stress levels?
Yeah, soccer.
Soccer? Okay. And is there anything particular about soccer that just you feel like really helps you out with maintaining those stress levels?
Uh, well, I like watching it usually more. It's fun to root for the team that I like, but I never played it in high school or anything. But I like just playing pickup games with people. That's always fun.
That's awesome. So now when we're talking about stress, how many of you guys have ever heard about the hormone cortisol?
You have.
You have?
Mm-hmm.
Has anybody else heard of cortisol?
Yeah.
Heard it.
So everybody kind of generally knows that it's a hormone that's released when the body starts to get stressed out. Yay, nay.
Yeah, no, I didn't know that.
Okay. So if you think about it in the human body, if you have, let's say you have a situation that spikes that, a test, maybe you're getting ready for a sporting event, whatever it may be that spikes up your stress levels, what do you think the body is going to start releasing to try to give you the energy to accomplish whatever task it is that you need to get accomplished? I'll give you guys a hint. It's something that really has to do with diabetes and maintaining our
Sugar.
Yes. Perfect.
Yes.
So when we have cortisol released in the bloodstream, something that occurs, especially if you have prolonged use of that cortisol, is you have blood glucose released into the body to try to fuel the cells, fuel the brain, and to try to get the body to get to go where it needs to go. Okay? Now, if you can think about that, when we're talking about prolonged stress, what do you think that's going to do to your blood glucose levels?
Gonna spike them up.
Okay? And if that happens for a long period of time, those blood glucose levels are going to also stay high. So it's very important, as those of us that have been diagnosed with diabetes, to maintain our stress levels so that we can control our blood glucose levels. So, Scott, it's okay to occasionally, have that midnight snack or something that's comforting, but it might be a good idea to maybe talk with your wife or maybe talk with some of the other support group members of additional activities that you can kind of maintain those stress levels with, because too much of the extra snacking is going to have your levels spiking in addition to whatever stress is going on. And Chase, having a lot of exercise is really good, but you want to make sure that you're getting a good balance, because pretty much it's not necessarily that too much exercise is bad for you, but you want to make sure that you're getting a good variety so that you're not straining your joints or your limbs, which is also important in maintaining your health.
Yeah, I like to cross train too.
Exactly, perfect. And that would definitely help you out there. So maybe this next couple weeks, why don't we go around and maybe say one activity that we'd like to try out, whether it be meditating, yoga, a sport, maybe a walk around the block, something that we could do as a goal for next time to help with those stress levels. Why don't we go ahead and start with you, Chase?
I'm just gonna keep doing what I've been doing. I'm gonna keep
Continuing
running,
on.
keep working out, eating healthy.
Okay. Connor, what about you?
I like what you said about doing yoga. I think
Okay. And then Scott there?
Well, I'm a really big dude. I have a hard time getting around. So I don't know. I don't really see myself exercising a whole lot.
Okay. Well, there's not just exercise that you can do. I want you to really think about, and you don't have to say out loud what you pick, but things such as like reading a nice book. I mean, it's really good to be active, but if that's something that's too difficult, maybe start off with something smaller and then eventually work your way up to those other things. But listening to calming music, perhaps just if you have children at home, maybe just taking a moment and just playing with them for a moment, taking 10 minutes of your day to just relax and just maybe think about your day and kind of let anything that's getting to you go, those sorts of things. So just think about those this next week, and it doesn't necessarily have to be something super strenuous. Just think about things that you can add to your lifestyle, okay? And then William, what about you?
I'm gonna go laser tag.
Okay, that's pretty fun. That would be exciting. All right. Well, I think, I don't know. Does anybody else have any questions, comments, concerns, anything that they would like to see happen next time? Well, why don't we go ahead and end it there? Think about what you guys want to do this next week, whether it's what you've already mentioned or if you change your mind and there's something else that you find out that you would like to do more, that's perfectly fine. And then next time that we reconvene, let's just take a moment to discuss kind of how we felt those 2 weeks and how that affected our stress levels. Well, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right.
Holy crap. I couldn't think of anything else to say. Oh my gosh.
You did good.
That's good.
Everybody did great.
Is this the review part now?
Yeah, the debrief session. Did everyone see those questions that we're supposed to answer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of them says, "What did you find challenging as a facilitator?"
Oh.
One
think
thing
hard-
for me. Oh, go ahead.
Who's going?
Okay, I'll go. One thing that I found kind of difficult was like keeping everybody like on the same page and everybody equally involved. Having kind of those different roles made it a little difficult, but it definitely taught me how I need to better focus on everybody or everybody as individuals instead of as a whole.
Exactly.
Something I had trouble with was I had an objective and I had stuff I was going to cover, but then I just felt like I didn't know what to say or how to go at a certain point.
Yeah, that's how I felt. I felt like I had stuff to say, but I couldn't like articulate it into questions or words, and then I was trying to balance me talking between trying to get everyone involved and.
That's exactly it.
That's a hard balance for me too, is how much do you say as a facilitator, especially if people are kind of reticent or not saying a whole lot. How much do you come armed or prepared with to talk about if no one's really talking?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's hard to find that balance.
Mm-hmm.
Or thinking of questions, like if somebody's particularly adamant about one particular thing, like being able to balance a good question beyond that. It's just like, I know what I want to say.
Right.
Probably not really what should be said, but maybe think of it a different way than you normally would on a regular basis if it was just you and somebody you knew really, really well.
Yeah.
It seems like you have to be pretty flexible too.
Yeah.
With everybody facilitating, it took kind of interesting turns, where someone would say something and it would guide the conversation in maybe a different direction than you would have anticipated.
I feel like you definitely have to be prepared for. You have to be prepared for many different outcomes.
Yeah.
I think you have to have a lot of patience too,
Yeah.
especially with people who complain or butt in or,
Yeah, I'm just going to keep on doing what I'm doing.
I feel like it'd be good to get training too with this kind of thing with
Yeah.
conflict management and just public speaking, stuff like that. I think would just be good.
My wife works as a marriage and family therapist. She worked several years in community health, but one of the things she did was facilitate small groups. One of them was a parenting group, and it's challenging. I mean, you follow a format, but you definitely have to kind of roll with things, and she's very, very good at it. I don't know how great I am at it, but it's definitely a skill.
Yeah. So the next question is, what did you learn in this activity about facilitating a support group?
Definitely the balance between having that lesson plan and some general ideas of where the conversation might be going, and then also being able to, I guess, be knowledgeable about enough of the subject so that if somebody throws you a curveball, that you can, answer the question appropriately, but also be able to stay on track.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, it's important to be prepared and not just prepared for the overall support group, but prepared for different situations and different things to be brought up.
Yeah.
The more preparation, the better.
And the great part, sorry, go ahead, William.
I was just going to say, probably be prepared too for not being able to reach everyone or please everyone. I mean,
Yeah.
the bureaucratic way to deal with that, I guess.
Yeah. I think the more experience that you have, I think the more situations that you come into contact with, and maybe you get a little bit better at that, or maybe that would be appropriate time. You know, like, no, why don't you come talk to me after the group's finished, and we can have a little discussion about whatever it may be. And I don't know, I feel like that comes with experience potentially, and yeah, I feel like it's like planning a wedding. There's not going to be every single person 100% satisfied with what the accommodations are and what's going on.
Right.
Yeah.
And the great thing about being a facilitator in a situation like this is that if you're not a medical expert, like they said, but just someone facilitating, you can always pass the buck. You can say, you know what, that's beyond my expertise, I don't know. But you can check with your doctor, or I can talk to a doctor, and we can get some answers for you for next time.
Yeah.
I think that's a good point to know that you don't have to answer every question. You don't have to, you don't have to be the master.
I think it's also good to have resources ahead of time.
Yeah.
People like Scott that you can refer to, because you won't know all the answers.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Something my wife has learned doing this is it's not always super comfortable, but it's good to allow some silences during your meeting. Sometimes people just need time to think or to process, and they're not going to have an answer to your question right away. And it's awkward, but it's a good skill.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I remember someone telling me for just getting like training for just teaching. They said, yeah, be comfortable with the silences. They said, count to 20. And like this is all you got to do, and people will start talking before that.
That seems like a long time.
Crazy. Yeah.
Hopefully you don't reach 20, but
Yeah.
What? Maybe 5-6 seconds, and it was a little bit weird.
I personally learned that it's pretty difficult to conduct a support group format like this. You can't always hear everybody really well, and sometimes there's a delay. So.
Yeah. Right.
Well,
I think
that's it. Good work, team.
then we just post this. We post this on that thread, right? On that discussion board.
I think so.
Yeah.
I've been looking at it.
I was never able to find a discussion board. Where was it?
It's under lesson 5 assignment, conducting a facilitating. I didn't notice until like last night.
Yeah. It also says that when you post the video, to post the times when
People start.
Yeah,
and,
being
and the debrief discussions. So.
Yeah.
It'll probably take a little while for it to go on YouTube. But.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said it takes about as long to upload as it did to record it. So.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We'll get that. Hopefully, posted later tonight then. So.
Okay.
Great.
Well, thank
Right.
you.
See you
Yeah,
guys
great
later.
job, everybody.
I got
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.